Next, we've got a look at our film events.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna hop on a train and I will meet my birth parents for the first time. This has been 19 years in the making, and I'm extremely nervous.
I want to see what he looks like in person, his voice, his smile, my hug I've been waiting for.
Kind of wondered, does he hate us? I think it's caused a lot of depression from time to time.
The reality is David was seconds, literally, for not being here. It's kind of a bittersweet because I wanted him.
We're gonna all fill in this missing piece of the puzzle that has been in all 3 of our lives.
It's going to be an overwhelming experience.
I'm nervous, but I'm really excited.
You have been appointed Archbishop.
What should I do?
What God wants.
What is that?
It is not an easy time.
Anyone who says what he thinks, he lives in fear.
He'll make no waves.
You're losing the people. My task is not to run the country.
This violence is destroying us.
There is trouble on many sides, Monsignor.
The people will take to the streets.
And even you admit we have the right to defend ourselves.
You're not defending! You're attacking!
I implore you, I beg you, I order you, stop the repression!
I don't claim to have all the answers, but the answers that I've found have truly changed my life.
Arthur Brooks, sir!
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here and with all of you. Poverty is the thing I care about the most.
I think that the suspicion that people have about capitalism comes because they think people like me don't believe in morals and they don't believe in any regulation at all, and that's not true. 2 billion people have been pulled out of starvation level poverty. What did that? The point of the American experience is a moral consensus that our society should push opportunity to the people who need it the most.
You're one of the most influential men in this country, aren't you?
I don't think I'm trying to be. I know a lot of people. A lot of it's just power of friendship.
U.S. Commission on Civil Rights.
It was going nowhere.
The president called Father Ted.
Father Hesburgh became the conscience of the country.
We've got a flaming problem with Hesburgh. He's always attacking us. Let's kill the damn.
He wasn't afraid of anybody.
We don't prove anything by burning something down. We prove something by building it up.
Being a priest is an isolated life. There's no family. There were no kids to raise. He did that to be a father to all people.
He could bring people together.
That's the kind of leader we need today.
We just don't have those kind of figures anymore.
I just owe him everything.
Wow, what a fantastic lineup. I loved how inspirational and socially conscious the content is, and that's what's great about the Sheen Center, to be able to talk and not yell at each other, but to learn and spread all the intelligence and thought-provoking thought and culture together. So that's why it is such a nice respite to have here in the city. I would love to introduce you to the man who has put the Justice Film Festival together. And Andrew, would you please come out and talk about how you came up with this?
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you, Vanessa. Hi, everybody.
Very good. Thank you for having us.
So what goes into programming such amazing, amazing films?
Yeah, we are so fortunate. We get to bring a collection of films that are going to ignite conversation about some of the most important issues that we're facing. And we all know that we live in very divisive times. But the program that we bring with Justice Film is all about things that we agree on. Everybody in this room believes that we should lift people out of poverty, right? Everybody in this room believes that we should care for people that are vulnerable and oppressed. And everyone in this room believes that film is a great way to communicate ideas and transform hearts and minds. And so that is the type of films that we're bringing. We bring films that are challenging, cause us to think differently about some of these subjects, films that are inspiring, like some of these guys that you just saw here. Warriors for social justice, men and women who have come before us and are activists now, making some of the change that we see in this world. And films that help us to explore and understand voices and people that we don't hear a lot about in the media, and between the headlines, things that we ought to know more about. So it's an opportunity to educate ourselves, to get engaged. We've done this for 7 years. And we have just such a wonderful partnership here at the Sheen Center. It's such a perfect space to explore some of these conversations, to challenge ourselves on some of these issues, to hear from the filmmakers that come from all over the world to share about these films and these projects and these inspirational stories that we see. And by the way, it's a ton of fun. Like, it's not just a bunch of like boring documentaries that make you feel bad about, like, you know, whether or not you're recycling your plastics or not. We have films that are really, truly entertaining and very fun, and just cause us to think a little bit differently about some of these very important things.
And are there discussions afterwards as well?
Yeah, it's maybe the best part of it. I mean, watching movies is great, but getting to hear from the filmmakers, from the advocates, and some of these people that are involved in the field on some of these issues, who know intimately kind of the background of some of these stories, and getting to hear about some of the people that we see on screen. It's really a tremendous opportunity, a wonderful long weekend. It's a great way to kind of bring people together. It's family friendly. It's great for young people too. And it's just such a great thing in this space, because this is really what the Sheen Center is about: inspiring people, moving hearts and minds, giving us something to think about, things that will cause us to lean in and want to have deeper conversations about the things that are really important. And it's just a great fit.
Can you just share a little bit about your background and how you became a curator of such amazing films?
Yeah, sure. I'm in the business of most of my work is actually working with studios on feature films. And so we work with Hollywood studios every day on bringing audiences to films that are just like this. Films that have a message, films that are cause conscious, maybe films that speak to the soul, to the faith part of our lives. So that's what we do, and it allows us to bring some of those movies here. We have a mandate to serve others. Am I right? Is that true? Does everyone in this room believe that? And so that's what we want to expose. That's what we want to celebrate. And we also have a mandate to care for creation, right? And that's part of this too. But we want to do it in a way that's inclusive, that everybody feels welcome and part of that participation. And we really hope that y'all might consider joining us in November. I hope that you do.
Well, thank you, Andy.
Yes, thank you,
You've been
Vanessa.
amazing.
Great. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right, looking forward to seeing everything.